full form is Gandhi Institute of Technology and Management, and it's the old campus is in Vizag, Visakhapatnam.
Mm.
It started in 1980 by Dr. Professor Dr. VVS Murthy. He was the founder of this, and now and in Geetam, Hyderabad, this architecture branch started in 2018. So 2023 will be the first batch who will graduate as an architect undergrad after that. So it has three campuses in Visakhapatnam, the oldest one, then Hyderabad, and then Bangalore. Currently, architecture is only in Vizag and Hyderabad. So Vizag, it has both bachelors and masters in sustainable architecture and all. And in Hyderabad, since first batch is yet to be graduated, so only undergraduate is there. Intake is 40.
Okay.
Each batch like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also joined Geetam on 26th July 2022 last year only. I will be just recently joined. And yes, I'm thankful to Alka Nanda Dash Mohapatra, my colleague, for suggesting your name, and thanks to you for accepting the invitation and taking out the time from your busy schedule. So
I should also thank Alkananda and all of you for giving me this opportunity. I hope I'll make it worthwhile.
yeah, definitely. Bhagyashri, Sharanya, Ritika, Ashini, please tell your fellow mates to join Pavni, Shazia. It's already 2:50, and please respect the value of our time also. Our guest we coordinate with our guest for so long, and then finally come up with a proper time with them. So in our Hyderabad department, actually in Visakhapatnam, Director Mohan sir is the main director head of the architecture. As through Alka, you might be knowing it. Alka is the alumni masters from Geetam Visakhapatnam, and head of institute in our Hyderabad campus is Professor G. Sunil Kumar sir, and there are one and Professor Shravanti ma'am, who is the main academic coordinator and all. Then we have three associate professors, Mukteshwar sir, and then Kanaka sir, and Shaman sir, and then rest are all.
I have seen their videos as well.
Yes,
Kanaka sir,
Kanaka sir and Shaman sir and Mukteshwar
sir as well. Yeah.
Yes, they have, and Shoponi ma'am also.
Yes.
She's she's recently completed her PhD. So
congratulations to her. Big congratulations.
Yes. I will convey your message to her.
Thank you.
So I will just give me 5 minutes.
No worries, you take your time. I know the students take their own time.
Yeah.
I am aware of this procedure very well.
Yes, definitely. You are also an academician full time, so you can absolutely relate with it.
When you said that 2023 will be the first batch to pass out, I remember when I had joined my college, I was also teaching the very first batch. It has its own struggle because everything is so new to them and also to us. So that's a different experience altogether. And in Geetam, the last that I knew Mohan sir since my college days because he had been visiting PMCA very often. And another person that I knew from Geetam was Kaustav sir. Kaustav sir had recently joined. I think he had joined last year or he left last year. I'm not sure. But probably he was in the Vizag campus. Kaustav Dash. He also used to be my teacher.
Okay. One I know is Bikash Patra sir.
Bikash Patra sir had been my teacher.
Yeah. So we both we are doing PhD coursework together, like PhD classmates.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should I ask, like, how's the PhD going? Usually we do not ask over here. We only congratulate when it's over. But should I ask?
To me, you are asking how the PhD is going.
Yeah.
It's going pretty hectic also. Like it's part-time. Part-time it's you have to give a lot of time to this PhD course. Like
Full
besides your
time also, it's PhD means it's a lot of time taking
full
thing.
time, yeah, it's a full time is like still you can focus. Part time is like job plus like I just want to share the
Understand.
experience. My coursework time before joining Geetam, I was in Sushant in
Okay.
Delhi, where I was working also as teaching assistant, and also I was what do you say? I was doing my course also part-time PhD. So Monday to Friday duty in the same college, Saturday, Sunday attending classes. So all the weekends were gone actually. I didn't realize how those 6 months just passed by. And now, and yes, plenty of work, research work has to be done. You need to invest a lot of time while doing this.
Yes, that is
That
true.
time has to be taken out definitely. That's
So,
how.
is it your second year going on?
Yeah, not second year, just completed my second sem. I just gave my
Oh,
synopsis
just
presentation.
finished your first year. Yeah, okay.
I just gave my
That's
synopsis
great.
presentation. I'm just yet to wait. The results are still awaited.
Well, all
And
the best.
thank you so much. It's really kind of you. And yeah, and actually, what I would like to say is that about our department architecture, it's a very in Hyderabad campus. It's very the we like architectural pedagogy, excellent. What are the visions and missions?
Mm.
Inspiring interactive and collaborative pedagogy. And as you are also we would like to hear from you also, like some ideas about what is your ideas on pedagogy and all, while you share your
I do
experience.
have some parts where I will be talking a bit about my thesis, but as much as is acceptable in the undergraduates set of
Yeah,
mind. I'll not go
yeah,
into the
still
details. I'll not bore much.
no, it's fine. Yeah, sure. At a basic level, you can
Yeah.
definitely introduce all of us, and yeah, it will be great.
And the
And
best part that I find about this is like I am working about the curriculum of the undergraduates. So some
okay.
part of it definitely, I'm pretty sure it will be relatable to them. They'll understand it, and probably they'll have an oversight which, while studying, they usually do not have. So that's what I think. Let's see.
Yeah, definitely. Whatever knowledge is being shared over this platform, it will not only be beneficial to these students but even to us, because I knew few of my colleagues who are doing like who have done masters in pedagogy, and now they are
Mm.
pursuing PhD in pedagogy. So even I also don't have much idea about it. Like I have very basic, but I would be listening to you as well today. Yeah.
It is. It is. I must say that this is a lovely, lovely initiative. It's more than
Yes.
lovely. It's very, how do I say, it's an ambitious initiative that things like this is starting, and you have your final year students who are going to just go out, and then the other, I'm not sure, are the students from other batches also joining in, or is it just the
Yes.
final years?
No, not only the final years. There are total 110 students, including all the years. So few final year, few fourth semester students, few sixth
Mm.
semester, and a few in the fourth years. So yes,
So it's a mix and match. I think it's lovely because these
yes.
kind of things are always very much needed when
We
we are studying.
yeah, we when after the preparation of the poster content, we circulate in the G events also, Geetam events, which get circulated in the all the three campuses. So we always welcome, like till now, we are targeting more participants. Still, we target that we ensure maximum participants join, because so diverse webinars have happened throughout. Like so that these are beneficial not only for students, for everyone. And we record these sessions in the Zoom online platform and upload in the YouTube channel so that everyone can have an access. And we I actually handle the social media platforms also, where whatever content is happening. Actually, students, the fourth year students had gone to Warangal also. They are doing this urban design studio in Warangal. So they are this time they are going to understand reconnecting through the tourism lens of the Warangal city. So
Wow.
that is, yeah. And these guys are at the holiday mode, the first years and the second years, because just 1 week ago their exams got finished, and then Pongal break, winter break came. So yeah.
I'm having a slight bit of guilt trip because of taking up this time, because I was not aware of the Pongal break.
No. It's actually, we also got it, this information at a very short notice. Even if you would have been aware, so I would have definitely informed you much earlier, so that the calendar schedule could have been more balanced, because at a very short notice everyone got to know about it. So yeah. So no need to have any guilt trip.
Well, I remember when I was a student, when it was the festivities, as a student, that happens, isn't it? The festivities comes first, and then everything else. I remember I was in Cuttack, so we used to have Ganesh Puja. That used to be a big deal over there. So
Okay.
I'm from Bengal. I did not see Ganesh Puja before that, and going to Cuttack, seeing it in such a
I'm
large scale.
also Bengali.
Yeah. So you see, in Calcutta and all, we don't have Ganesh Puja that like that, but maybe
Yeah,
now it has started a bit, but not in the scale that it happens in Odisha or in other states. So
absolutely.
seeing
Yes,
things like that, it was,
I agree. I
the
can completely
mindset just
relate.
changes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. I will, yeah, the students are joining. Shivani, Shazia, Sharanya, Pavni, Bhagyashree, Harshini. Please tell your fellow mates to join. These updates are being given 1 week ago only, that this webinars are scheduled.
Yes, ma'am, I'll inform.
Yeah, quickly. It's already about to be 3 p.m. in here.
Yes, ma'am.
Our director sir is very humble. Like, he's a man of few words, very down to earth, and he would have, if he would have not been tied up today, he would have he would have definitely be a part, interacting with you in a more greater manner. And yes,
Um, in the last few videos that I have seen on YouTube, I had been following him. Sunil sir does seem to be a very nice person, and
yeah,
I was actually looking forward to seeing him. It's a little bit of disappointment that he's not here, but maybe sometime in future I'll get a chance.
yes, definitely. I don't know, maybe he might join in between. He might
Okay.
join. He said some work commitments has come urgent, so he said still I will try to join. So just convey my best
It's
wishes.
Saturday second half. It is. It is,
Yeah,
but
but
like
yeah,
it's very.
we why do we conduct this webinars in weekends also? Because one thing is that besides, it's just a 1.5 hour session, but it's so fruitful that interacting with such diverse everyone, national and international, whether it's this platform is like, even I as an architecture student never got such opportunities. It's actually
Certainly, yeah.
started all this thing after COVID, and it's beneficial for these students only, and every one of us, that we get to interact with so many people online, and we can actually celebrate the successful career in architecture and look at so many perspectives. Like, till now, whatever past webinars have happened, we got to know so many things, that so many scopes and opportunities are there in this subject. You can actually completely evolve as a new something, whether it's a technical 3D artist or computation design or anything. Like, many exploring things are there. It's not limited. It's like very diverse. Yeah.
Actually is. And this one thing I must say, COVID has done a lot of wreaked a lot of havoc, but yeah, it has made life easier in certain parts.
Mhm.
Thanks to COVID, this entire culture of Zoom and internet working. Internet was always there, but not like this.
Mm.
And this kind of networking, it has really come up after COVID. I'm kind of thankful because of that.
Yes,
On a very
absolutely.
personal level, I joined my PhD in 2019, 2020 beginning, COVID started. So anyway, we do not have classes over here, but I had to go and meet my supervisor face to face. He's a very nice person, but we Indians, we are always scared of meeting the teacher. That is a mindset that grows in India, right? So then everything became on Zoom. I think the nervousness came down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Even my journey in teaching also started during COVID time only, when initially I started my career. Like 2 years I worked in an architecture firm, and then I joined as interior design faculty. So I had to report to the campus to teach online classes. Like all the faculties were supposed to report to the campus. After first wave got over and second wave was about to come in the April. So November time I had joined. So that time it was on and off going. So yeah, like online class, offline class, something like
Online and offline, yeah.
yeah. So it was going like that. Yes.
At the same time, yeah, obviously many students did not really, I mean, not architecture. Architecture goes on for 5 years. That's a different thing. But many, short-term courses, people never got their chance of, college life, campus life. Everything just
Absolutely.
started and finished online. That was a different thing, although.
Yeah. Yes, actually, online is like it makes things easier also, but at the same time, it becomes a bit hectic also, or maybe lazy also. Like, can't say actually what happens.
Yeah,
So,
I can understand a bit because my teaching over here, like I was not really sure how teaching happens in UK, but well, for me, it started online, and I have an idea of how to teach online over here. I am not aware of how it goes in the class yet. So that is yet to be experienced.
yes, yeah. Students, like I can understand sometimes, like while taking online classes and all, like for example, now also we are having this session online, so many of them have not switched on their cams. So it seems as if I like
That is a pocket that we have to, jump
yeah,
over. We can't do anything about it.
yeah. So yeah, and also like the thing is that the offline experiences before all this COVID happened, when we had those offline classes, offline, that term offline and online was never being differentiated.
Exactly, yeah.
Everything, yeah. Now that so many new terms came into exit, quarantine and all something. So I so
Another thing that I must say is all these terms, quarantine and different facilities for that, we being architects, we who are designing a space, it has literally changed the way we think about public spaces now. Now
absolutely,
we also have to keep this in mind. This can happen anytime. A state of emergency, a state of, biological emergency, where
yes,
people may fall sick. There are separate corridors altogether. These things are so new, but yeah, I think we are still coping with that.
exactly. I completely agree with you on this point. And yeah, the second week was also very horrible. How many
Absolutely.
shortages of beds had come across, and so it was a very worst case scenario all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. In the meanwhile, let's start the session. And
Sure.
yes, I will formally introduce you. So yes. So very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone present in this webinar called Successful Career in Architecture webinar series conducted by Geetam School of Art and Architecture, Visakhapatnam and Hyderabad campus. So we are really delighted to have our today's speaker, architect Krishna Koli Dutta. So, and I welcome all the students, and it would have been great. Our director sir, before introducing our guest speaker, our professor G. Sunil Kumar sir would have loved to say a few words. But yes, we will still have we have time. So in the meanwhile, we will look forward to it when he joins. And so this webinar series is conducted since Successful Career in Architecture we celebrate, where we try to explore and understand, where we invite all the participants to be a part of this webinar and understand the journey and the experiences of the architects, of how they have evolved their careers and what are the scopes and opportunities. So this online platform actually helps in understanding and building up the shapes and gives a broader perspective. So now with the, yeah, so today it's time to introduce our guest speaker, architect Krishna Koli Dutta, who is an architect, PhD scholar, a full-time academician, and currently she is doing her PhD in architectural pedagogy from University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, United Kingdom. Yes, and so a small brief about our about Krishna Koli Datta. She's a researcher and academician. She has completed her bachelor's in architecture from Piloo Mody College in 2015 and master's in master's degree from College of Engineering and Technology in 2018. So she had been teaching in the Indira Gandhi Institute of Technology as assistant professor and until 2019, and in a short span she had been a member of many of the syllabus committee like Biju Patnaik University of Technology, and had been working alongside with the collaboration with Calcutta Tramways Corporation, and presently which is known as actually the West Bengal Transport Corporation, on the project of Smaranika Museum and Garden in Kolkata. So her projects, other projects also includes the diverse projects which she has been included, contributed is interior designing projects or museum and garden in Kolkata, and other projects like designing low rise, high rise buildings, and how the project management of the various brands like Lakme Salon or Global Trotter's kindergarten school in Kolkata. She has been associated with many diverse projects. And yes, since 2019, Krishna Koli Dutta is settled in Glasgow, Scotland, United Kingdom, where she's pursuing her research in architectural pedagogy, which she's going to talk about today, along with sharing a journey of experience. And we are going to understand that how this pedagogy is affecting the different, may affect the different layers of Indian social and cultural fabric. So her topic of research is social and cultural sustainability in architectural education in India. So I welcome you, ma'am, and over to you. Looking forward to your presentation, your journey, your experience. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just begin by saying that, yes, my topic is social and cultural sustainability in architecture, but keeping in mind that the topic of this webinar is successful career in architecture, I will be talking more about that and a little about my PhD research work. So I hope it will be interesting for all of you. And I really look forward to questions at the end, because, my personal belief, until and unless there are questions, people really don't completely understand what's going on. My take on it, absolutely. So I'll just start sharing my screen.
Yes, I have made you the co-host, so you can share your screen. It's visible.
It's visible, yeah?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. So we are talking about a successful career in architecture. Now, when we talk about studying architecture, if we look at the internet today, the things that we see usually are things like this. And I can't say it's completely wrong. Well, this has been there in our time, and this is, I'm pretty sure, there in your time as well. Your homework is 30 drawings and it's due tomorrow, and the rest is just evil laughter. Well, there is no evil laughter, and there is a catch over here. It had always been in our time as well. The 30 drawings were due for a week, but we being us, leaving it for the last moment and then crying over it, saying the next day that it was not possible, we need some more time. And then there is also the ideas of redo. In our time, sheets used to get torn because the teacher didn't like our work, and more redos. This is the culture of architectural education. It has been like that. It has evolved over time. Well, I'm pretty sure after COVID, so much of, sheet tearing and all pretty much has gone away, because it had not been there for the 2 years in the middle. But this is how we do architecture, we study architecture. And while we are at it, though it seems very hectic, very unpleasant at times, I'd say that try to go with the flow, because it is how it is. And later on, I'm pretty sure, me being on the other side of being a student, I'm pretty sure Snigdha ma'am will also agree. At one point, you're going to miss all of this. Things will get much more complicated than just these 30 drawings per night.
Yes, absolutely. Very correct. Rightly said.
There is one issue. I cannot change my slide. Okay, no, here it is. It has gone way too far. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So another thing is, I don't know how many of you follow them. These there is this group called Leewardists. I usually follow them on Instagram. They make these beautiful comic strips. This is an anatomy of an architect. An architect, how they should be, how they should look, what they act like. There's always coffee, there are always glasses, a number of pens and pencils, this particular one toolkit. Well, this is a very generic idea. I am pretty sure if you look very deeply into this image, you will find at least 3 or 4 points which you find relatable to yourself. But for the other parts which you don't find relatable, not only to this drawing, but with the other architects, established ones, the people whom you are studying with, if you don't find things in common, do not fret. We are not here to be generic. One idea of being an architect is to create something. If all of us are the same kind of people and we are all creating the same thing, that is not what architecture is about, isn't it? As they say, you do you be yourself, you work how it feels good for you. When you are looking for success in any particular career, you have to have that idea that what you are doing is correct, is good, and is worthwhile. So until and unless you have that confidence and courage, success is a very far away story. You cannot be generic. Architects cannot create run-of-the-mill things. You know, when I was an intern, I had heard this term run-of-the-mill, which is, you know, generic stuffs like probably furnitures, all being created in a mill, all of them the same size, the same standards. Our creations cannot be like that. Similarly, we ourselves cannot be like that. So, and when we are talking about our work, everything starts from us. Until and unless we ourselves are in our proper shape, nothing else is going to work out like we want it to. So first thing first, don't be generic, be yourself. This is a slide that is slightly interesting to me and probably should be interesting to you as well. This I have taken off from the website of Council of Architecture. These are the 5 subheadings under which your subjects are present. All the subjects that we study for 5 years. Now, what are these headings? There's professional core, there's skill enhancement courses, professional ability enhancement compulsory courses, professional elective, and building services and applied engineering. For 5 years, 10 semesters, we have this many subjects and this many theories and practicals. That is how we see when we are studying. In an overall view, this is what it is there. And when we are studying these things, each semester we focus on those particular subjects. And going by my times and my ideas, we used to focus on the theory subjects right during the exam. Throughout the semester, we used to work on all the other projects and papers. And right at the end, these theory subjects would come. Now, why I am showing this to you? To give you an overview of what you are studying and to give you an idea that there is this saying called Jack of all trades, master of none. We cannot do that. If we want to do something worthwhile later in our architectural career, we have to be Jack of all trades, master of few, or at least one. So here are these 5 subtopics under which your subjects come. I am pretty sure if you look into the subjects here under these topics, you will find at least 1 or 2 subjects which you are good at, which you find interest in. My personal choice of topic was history of architecture and culture. I was good at that. I always liked studying history, and that kind of helped me to understand my journey in architecture, or which direction I will be taking in architecture. I am pretty sure there will be people who maybe are interested in building materials or climatology under building services, or there might be others who might even be interested in skill enhancement courses. Even that is very helpful. We have today in architecture, we have so many pathways leading to so many different kinds of professions that either or, whichever subject you feel that you are good at, grasp it, be the best at it. Once you do that, you already have one arrow in your quiver, and later you can use that in your career building techniques. Another thing that is very important is, for these 5 years, a lot of stuffs are taught to us, and we learn them. Since school, we have been learning stuffs, and in college also, we are learning stuffs from the book, from the notes given. Even the parts where the teacher says, from here to here, question will come. Only that much. The rest goes into oblivion. That needs to change a bit. There are 2 types of learning. One is a textbook learning that we usually do. The other, and very important, interesting, and I'd say intriguing part of learning, is experiential learning. What you learn through your experience, what you see all around you. I remember when I was in college, that was in 2010, from 2010 to 2015, this one particular thing that I had heard a lot, and it actually struck me because I am a girl and I am listening to this, is that in architecture, girls don't have much of a career. It's mostly the boys, because they can go out, they can, stay in the site overnight, they can see things, they can, talk to the people working there, the working class people. Girls can't do that. It troubled me to some extent, to a lot of extent, in fact. So that is not something which I wanted for myself, to be dominated because of the gender. And that is when it came to my mind that experiential learning, I did not know the term then, but my dad is a civil engineer, and being the daughter of a civil engineer, I had been visiting sites since I was 3 years old. I had probably seen welding works and, slab casting way before any of my male classmates did. Now, this is not a thing about male and female. This is what I had heard, and this is what was going on in my mind. For yourself, I'm pretty sure you don't have to listen to things like this anymore. Also, you people must also be seeing a lot of things going on around you. There are construction sites every day, everywhere, all around us, and we can see them. As an architecture student, you can always walk in. You can always ask. You can always see what is going on, what is not. Question. Even if you're not walking into construction sites right now, we all come from houses, right? None of us have grown up in caves or tents. We have all come from some residence, some condominium, some apartment, some place or the other. There must be places, space, in fact, which you really like, where you have grown up, the places you have visited in your city, whichever city you belong from. There must be spaces which you really like, public spaces. It can be a mall, it can be an open plaza, anything. Have you ever thought why you like that space? What is that special feature that makes it so much likable? I'll give you one example. When we had to do a shopping mall in, I think, 6th semester, we had shopping mall, and we were supposed to do the case studies. Now, before we did the case studies, I was thinking, I am from Kolkata, and there are quite a number of good and big malls in Kolkata. However, there is this one particular mall that I really liked, which is the city center. If you have ever been to Kolkata, Or if you visit city center, you will see that there is a particular difference between city center and other malls in other cities. It's an open place. That mall is designed not only for shopping, but also for public interaction. Lots of open place, lots of place where you can hang out with your friends and family. That is what I liked in a mall. That is not what we see in usually enclosed malls, which are basically glass boxes full of retail shops, certain corridors, one food court right at the top. That is a generic mall. City centers seem different. These are the little things that you notice all around you. And once you start noticing these things, obviously, if you like a space, if you like a particular feature, you're going to put it in your design as well, right? You are going to try to accommodate that in what you are creating. That makes things better. Obviously, there are teachers there to help you who are going to, mark out that maybe this is not appropriate for this, for that, but that is how you learn. You make mistakes and you learn, but at least try, sorry, at least try to accommodate what you are seeing and what you are liking in the spaces around you. Just give me a second. When we are talking about experiential learning, what are the steps of that? First, concrete experience. You have to actually have the experience. I'm pretty sure you people are aware of this procedure of case studies. You can't, case study and literature study is something that you do to enhance your designing techniques, to know better about the other places which are supposed to be exemplary for your work. Now, that is how you experience. You go, you see, you derive your ideas from that. You reflect upon it. That's the next step. You reflect on that experience and then you draw out a particular concept out of it. Even if not a concept is a term which has been made very heavy in architectural curriculum. I'd say draw an idea, learn something from that experience. Once you do that, experiment with that, try it out. As I was saying, put it in your design and just see if it works for you. If not, that something else will, right? There are n number of possibilities and n number of examples all around us for each and every design project that we get as students, because of course we are not going to be given to design a space station or something, not even a jail or an airport or something like that. Those are particular things. Leave the space station, the jail and airport, places like these, you do not get access for case study. So even you'll notice that even these type of projects are not given to you as students. So you are only being given what you can experience yourself, and that is the reason why. So just go out, experience stuff. Once you experience them, store your ideas. Our brain is just an organ. So when you want to see something, you see it, you store it in your head. And when it is actually time to use it, you forget. But very human thing to do. We forget. It is not always possible for us to remember everything that we have seen at some point or the other. So for that, we store our ideas. How? These days on Instagram, on Pinterest, we see these very cute little scrapbooks that they make. They take these tiny little tweezers and they bring in an Eiffel Tower, they bring in a pearl here and a chain there, and they make these beautiful little scrapbooks. Why can't you do that with your ideas? We are all very creative people. We like making designs. We like working with colors. So make your colorful scrapbook wherever you go, whatever you see, put it down, categorize. When it's time for you to look for ideas, go into your scrapbook. There is this process also to trust yourself. When you go into that scrapbook and look into that, this is also a trust building process upon yourself. You will know that, okay, I had done this at this point, thinking that. Your thought processes are coming back, your ideas are coming back to you, which is very important for you as a designer, because you are designing a space not for yourself, but for other people to use, for others to trust in you regarding this process, you need to trust yourself first. And for that, you need to have a storage space, a backup. And the more colorful it is, for me at least, the more interesting it is. I like colors. Now, this is one way in which we usually store our ideas. We architects, being architects and architecture students, it is taken for granted that we'll be good at sketching. In most cases, it is true, but in some stray cases, it might not be true. Maybe the ideas are good. Maybe the analytics about the ideas are good, but the hand does not do what the brain asks it. When we think something and we need a projector, our hand is not that projector. This has happened with many people. This has happened with me as well. I remember when I was in my 5th year, I was doing my thesis and I was expected to make a lot of sketches. I told my guide, my supervisor at that point, architect Yogesh Kumar, I just told him that, sir, I cannot make that good sketches. I have very shaky lines and it's not that good, basically. He said, why don't you check out the work of Renzo Piano? Go check it out and then meet me after this many days. I went home, I checked the work, and I realized that, yes, this kind of sketches I can produce. So find that type that you can actually produce. There are many different forms of rendering. There are many different ways of producing sketches and your concepts on paper. Find that out, own that up, and you will do what you are expected to do. And if it is at all not coming to me, this I had learned from one of my friends who was an art student. He told me, take a pencil, take a piece of paper, say A4, not big, A4 piece of paper, take a pencil, put your pencil down at one corner and start drawing squares. Do not pick your pencil up until you fill the entire paper with squares. They may be overlapping, they may be not perfect. In the beginning, your squares will look like triangles or even circles. But if you can accomplish filling that one paper with square, go for the next paper with triangles and the next paper with circles of different of different sizes. But once you can finish that, your hand will know what your brain wants it to do. The coordination will come like that. It is a very difficult process, at least for me it was, but it actually helps a lot. So if you need help with your sketching and expressing your ideas on paper with your pencil, these are the things that you can try. Another thing that we have today is the internet. Well, back in 2010 also, things were not as easy as it is today. Smartphones were just coming in. Internet was not at hand all the time. We still had those dongles that we had to connect and the speed was not great, but it was just the beginning. Today, we have everything at hand. Now, it is your, I'll say, responsibility to use your resources wisely. You can use the internet to get ideas, to inspire yourself, to connect with people. And you can use the internet to simply go to some Chinese or Portuguese site, bring down the CAD drawing, make it yours and present it to your teacher. In that case, again, please use it wisely. Look at the designs everywhere. Do not take it down for your own. Why? Because of course, you are paying some time, you are paying some amount of money to become an architect. At least give yourself the chance to, explore what you can do. Do not cheat yourself out of that chance. Cheating the teacher out and getting some marks, for the time being, it seems cool, but later on, at some point or the other, you'll have to do that work again. You'll have to go back and go through it all over again. So better now when you have help, when you have teachers to help you with, and you have your classmates to compare things with, rather than just pulling it down and getting your marks and leaving with it. It's a big cheating process. So, and cheating yourself, not the school or the teacher. So let's not go into that. What can we do with the internet? Well, apart from getting ideas, another thing that I think is very important and very helpful of the internet is how it lets us connect with people. Please start your connections early. The more you connect, the better for you. I'm pretty sure you are having very good terms with the teachers who are teaching you right now. But there is no harm in connecting with teachers of all the other institutes around India or even the world. There is this particular app called LinkedIn. I'm pretty sure the final year students and fourth year students may be aware of it. Even the students in the younger batches, go for it. Check out who are the people around you. Connect with them. Not only will you learn from them, it is all about building a career. We are put into architecture. We are interested in architecture because we want to become architects with good careers. For that, you need to talk and be present. How do you be present? How do you stay present in somebody's mind? Through these connections. Please go for it. Most of the architects are there on Facebook. Some of them are there on Instagram with their work. Go for it. Look at their work, talk to them. It only helps. And the power of communication is everything. So please make sure you up your game at that. You need to talk as an architect. You really, really need to talk. It's not only about the viva at the end of your semester. Once you become an architect, you have to talk to the clients. You have to talk to the people who are working for you. And these two talks are very different. How you talk to the client is not how you talk to the person who's laying the tiles. I'm not asking you to be rude, but you have to know the tricks of the trade. So you build your power of communication, how you want your design to be conveyed in a conference, and how you want to, convince about your project to some up-level government employee are again two different games altogether. You need to know this right from the beginning. So start talking, start writing. Written communication is also another thing that will be very important later on. So start building your game at that. Another thing that you need to do, start right now learning about it, is decision making. Not only about your career or which way it will go. Each and every design project that you have to decide, you have to take decisions. Get your friends to act as your clients, proxy clients, and act out the scenario that what they want and how you are going to decide on what you want to do for them. There will be alternatives. For example, our very first project that we usually do for design is a residence, be it doctor, lawyer, whoever, but there is always a residence. One residence, one list of criteria. Your entire batch is going to produce 40 different designs out of that. Say out of that, 10 of them are absolutely not workable, but there are still 30 workable alternatives. But which one is for you? When you are working, don't go for that, okay, it is coming like this, and let's fix with that. No, you work on 2-3 alternatives, and then you choose, work over the uncertainty, see where you are going wrong or what seems better than the other, deduce your point of design, and then go for it. High risk consequences, well, later on you will learn about this particular thing, risk assessment. For every design, there are certain things that might come as risk, which you'll have to make sure that does not create a problem for your clients. Be it the height of the parapet or be it the length of the veranda, whatever it is, your risk assessment should be on point. Nothing should be like, you should know your ratios and proportions. Nothing should create a problem later which somebody else is going to point out. There will be interpersonal issues, definitely. We all come from different households, different ideologies, different cultures. And when we are trying to work with somebody else who necessarily will not belong to the same ideology or culture, there will be interpersonal issues. A client might ask for a kitchen next to the bathroom, and it might seem weird to you, or according to the climatology, not only to you, according to the climatology, say that direction is not the perfect place to place the kitchen. These interpersonal issues, you will have to work it out with logic. So how to navigate through that, you need to understand. And Lastly, when I'm talking about complexity, we deal with clients. We deal with other people who are going to pay us money to do their job. Obviously, when there is money included, there'll be complexities, and you have to navigate through that as well. That is why I said right before this, you build your communication game. You have to navigate through all of this and reach to the point which you want to reach, and not where your client is directing you towards. So you have to do that. For that, your decision making should be so strong that others will have to think before they question. This comes even as a student. When you have decided something in your design and the teacher is saying, no, this cannot be, politely ask why. Don't just take a no for an answer. Politely ask why. See if that can be logically taken over. See if you can think in other direction to take over that problem. Don't ask for solutions from your teachers. They will give it to you anyway. But before that, you use your brain. You make your decisions. After that, well, after that, they are always there. There is a thing called doctrine. Doctrine is these particular, lines that we read. God is in the details is my particular favorite doctrine. There are others like less is more, less is bore. Well, I used to see a lot of them in Zonasa on different t-shirts. It's not only about the t-shirts. When we are talking about doctrines, choose a doctrine upon which you will work. These are like principles. For your design, if you are choosing a particular doctrine and working on that, I am pretty sure that is one thing that will take you in one particular direction. When I say God is in the details is my favorite one, well, how did it come to be? I'm pretty sure at least by the time you read your contemporary architecture, study your contemporary architecture, you must have studied about this building, which is Casa Batlló. And when I saw this building, I was amazed. I was amazed not because of the many other amazing features that it has, but because the architect actually managed to create a dragon's back on its roof. How? He chose particular colors of tiles to make that thing happen. That much detail he used to work in. What is stopping us? Nothing actually. We can go into as much detail as we want to. Zoom in, zoom further in until and unless you reach that point where you are like, okay, this is where I stop. Usually what we do is we stop quite early. We zoom in twice and we are done. But if you are just trying to create a space where livable space, usable space, that is enough. If you are really going for a wonderland, a space which is going to be enjoyed by the people who are going to use it, you'll have to go into that much detail. At least I go by that particular thing. You can go by any other doctrine said by any other famous architect. They said something and it became famous for a reason. And you can create your own wonderlands if you want to, if you really, really want to. Or else if the aim is just to create a livable, usable space, that's a different issue. But then again, that is not going towards a successful career either. That is just a mediocre architect doing their mediocre job. As students, this is another comic strip that I have taken from Lee Wardists. There are always, every batch has this kind of a student who always has help. I'm talking about the second years, third years, fourth years, and fifth years, because the first years are always the help. Now, I would say this is very useful, but try to be on both the sides. Try to be the person who's helping and try to be the person who's taking the help, because until and unless you're on both the sides, the learning process is not complete. And you can never step out of the learning process. Your teachers, their superiors, their teachers, everybody is continuously in a learning process. Without that, we cannot stay updated in this field. And lateral learning, as we say, is what you are doing in your lessons with your other 39 batchmates, studying the same thing from the same teacher and understanding it. You need to go for the vertical learning where you work with your seniors or your juniors. It's not necessary that they will be having the same teacher for the same subject. different teachers have different teaching techniques, and things will be different. So you have to go through that learning process to understand how one thing can be taught and can be perceived in different ways. And discussion with senior or junior is only going to enhance your thinking, decision-making capabilities. So please be on both the sides of this line. And at the end, not for the 5th years, but for the 1st and 2nd years, I'd ask, are you having any fun doing this? Because without any fun, there not much of creativity will come. And without much creativity, there will not be much progress. Why I am saying this, I used to teach in a government college where I had seen people who were not at all interested in what they are doing. So when I talked to them, when I asked them, they said that this is happening because, well, they were interested in, say, computer science or robotics, some other stream that they were interested in. And just because they got a seat in a government college, be it for architecture, be it for whatever, they had to study that. And they were not interested. They were not having any fun. I'm pretty sure, and I really hope that is not the case with any of you. You people are actually doing what you like, and how you're going to get more fun out of what you're doing. There are different ways of having fun. One is to explore which side of fun you want. Our brain is this lovely organ which is divided into 2 parts. The left side is for analytics and the right side is for creativity. And it is also said that people who are right-handed is, more coordinated by the left side of the brain and vice versa. I'm not sure about that, but this much I am sure that the left is working on the analytics and the right is working on the creativity. And in this, you find out which side you want to titillate, which side you want to work upon. It is not all subjects are, run by the same side. You might be interested in building materials. You might be interested in structures, whatever works for you. And if it's the creative side, there are so many other subjects which, works for that. Choose on it, work for it. As I said, jack of all trades, master of at least one. You choose that side and you start having your fun. Make your designs revolve around that particular thing. And it is supposed to work. It is supposed to be easy for you. And that is how you make things easy for you. Your ideas should have a particular direction. And you are the one who's going to choose that one direction in which your ideas are going towards. Now, this may be difficult for you to understand now, but it was difficult for me as well. After the 5 years, you'll have some idea. If you study further, which is not necessary, but if you want, you can always study further and you will explore more of it. Why I am saying this? This is, these are 3 sheets from my report of my bachelor's thesis. I had worked on a tram museum, and in that tram museum, it's a museum where trams will be displayed and this and that. But what actually made me very much interested in this particular project is that since I had been growing up around and about trams, my dad used to work in Calcutta Tramways Corporation. So I had seen them closely. And when I started making this particular museum, I had divided the space into 3 corridors. 3 corridors depicting 3 parts of Calcutta. The old part, the modern part, and the part which still has that British colonial feel in it. And the tram displays and the space decoration and ideation was according to that. At that point, all I thought is that maybe I grew up around trams. That's why I'm interested, and that's why I am doing this work. Next, I went for my master's, where I was working on the ghats of Ganga. There is this long corridor in Kolkata where there are 3 ghats. Now, if you follow the cursor, I'm not sure if you can see the cursor, but if you can follow it, the first part over here is a ghat that is a religious ghat where Ganga Aarti happens and people gather for the religious work. Next, there is this pontoon, which is used for transportational reasons, where the ferry comes and goes and people use that for their transportations. And the third ghat over here is one that is linked to a crematorium, Kashi Mitra Ghat, that is for a crematorium. Now, one corridor that is connecting three different ghats in three different uses. How am I going to make that corridor more viable to people? And my project basically was to make the ghats more accessible to all kinds of people, sick people, old people, people with disabilities, because you see, ghats are all about steps and it is not always very easily accessible to the people with these problems. Now, while working on it, again, I noticed that I am interested in this work because maybe these ghats are very close to where I live and I have been there for a very long time. These were my illusions. Only after I finished this work that I realized that no, what actually joined these two projects and what made me work on the thesis on these two projects is that they both had a social and cultural angle to it. The first one, it projected to different kinds of social and cultural heritage that Kolkata has. The second one actually catered to a different crowd to in each ghat, and it was the social and cultural thing that I was going after. So I realized my direction is social and cultural sustainability. I'm talking about society, I'm talking about culture, and I am talking about the social responsibility that we architects have when we are working. Now, my thesis topic for my PhD became the social and cultural sustainability in architectural education in India, because I am very interested in pedagogy. I had been teaching for 4 years. That's a very short span. But in that, I realized that these are the topics that I really enjoy working on, but how much of it are we teaching in the class? How much of it do the students know? When we are working in class, we are working on different projects. The students know that the client is going to be like this, like that. They'll come from the apartments, they'll come from the house, they will need a mall, they'll need a hospital. But how many times do we talk about the clients who are staying in the slums? Even they have a hold in the society. They are part of the society. They have their own culture. There are times when your client will be from a different state or maybe a different religion, and the cultural background will change. And how much of that are we talking about in class? I found that to be missing. So I started working on this particular thing. We are from India, and India is a very diverse country. There are two sides of India, literally, when it comes to the economic, social, and cultural things. Cultural, there are more than two sides. There are a lot of number of sides. And we architects, we have to cater to all of them, isn't it? This is just an aerial view of Mumbai. I'm actually talking a bit about my PhD topic right now. This is an aerial view of Mumbai, where on one side, you see the condominiums and the apartment high rises. And just next to it are the slum areas where the people living over there, they are striving for the basic infrastructure that is needed for humans to live a normal life. This is not how it's supposed to be. There is a very glaring disparity over there. So another problem that we are going through is, if you all are architecture students, so it should be easier for you to understand when you look at the first three buildings, you will immediately know which era it was built in which area it was built in, and by whom it was built. It is very easy for us to understand as architects. Even the laymen, people who have not studied architecture, can say that to you. But the last building over here, it's a proposed building, and it could be in any part of the world. It could be even in any city of India. It could be in any city in Hong Kong, in China. And you cannot say that. Where is the identity of us Indians? Where is the identity of Indian architecture? It's upon us to bring that in our work. This is another example that I had used pretty recently in a conference. This is Chand Bauri, the first one. It's a step well, and it's in Rajasthan. It was established in 9th century AD. Taking the idea from Chand Bauri, being inspired by that, the vessel has been created in Manhattan by Thomas Heatherwick, and it is through the same conceptualization. When architects from abroad can take the ideas that are heritages to us, why can't we? Why are we so much, intrigued by high rises that draws upon all the energy and this and that? Why can't we go back to our history? We architects, we are learning history of architecture in 4 semesters, and then in one we are learning contemporary architecture, and we quickly take up the ideas of contemporary architecture and forget all about the 4 years that 4 semesters in which we have learned about our own history, isn't it? That is quite, for me, it's kind of shameful, but it is the scenario today. This is what we have been doing in our cities. The first 2 images are Mumbai, the second are for Delhi, the third are for Kolkata. When you look at the buildings in the first images, the gray images, sepia ones, you will see a place has its own fabric. All the houses, they are not similar, they are not identical, but they match with each other. They go next to each other. If you look at the other buildings in the present state, something all around, one thing going up, that is unique, that is so special. That is the, signature mark of that particular architect. That is not important though. To have a successful career, breaking an urban fabric is not important. You can stay in the urban fabric, build over it, and still have a successful career. You are the students of architecture. You are the future architects. And you need to understand that. Being unique does not mean breaking out something. Being unique can happen even while staying within the fabric. In this run for modernity, we are missing out on a lot of parts who are parts of our society. We have many problems in India. We have poverty, hunger, lack of healthcare, lack of quality education, clean water and sanitation. There is no decent work, and reduced inequalities is a joke. These are the problems that India is going through. Now you will say, we are architects, we are not sociologists. What can we do about it? We architects can make a difference. If you look into the work that are being done, I will not say no work is being done. Definitely, there are architects who have this particular responsibility and who are working upon it. If you look into that, you will see that architects can also help people with these things. I remember there was this one school in the Jamuna flatlands, which the land had been taken up by the government from the people who were living there. They are like nomads now. They move from one place to another on those flatlands, and they also need school and hospital and everything. Even though they are immigrant people, considered immigrant right now, even they need these basic facilities. Who's going to provide them? Two architects, I am sorry, I don't remember their names right now, two ladies, they had created this one school which can be taken down and rebuilt again with the same material, and that can be done by the students and the people of that slum itself. And that school travels with these people. Wherever they're going, the school is going with them, and they are studying, they still have their facility. These are the little things that we architects can do for our society. If you look, this is a list of the 17 goals that United Nations has for sustainable development. Out of these 17 goals, there are 8 that actually can be helped through architectural intervention. Poverty, hunger, health and well-being, quality education, gender equality. Yes, these can be helped through architectural intervention. Maybe it seems difficult or impossible to you right now, but As you study further, as you learn further, you will see that in some way or the other, you can make a difference. You can create something different. Now, when we are talking about it, the social and cultural diversity in India is actually huge. In accordance to this diversity, the user, your clients, their needs are going to change from region to region. And from time to time, you as architects, you are the responsible person who has to acknowledge these differences, who has to understand that this has to be acknowledged in the design, and you have to design accordingly. For understanding the social responsibility, this cultural diversity, all of this, to understand all of this, the architects of India actually need to be taught about all of this in their curriculum. That is what I am working on. That is my project or thesis on architectural pedagogy. How do we achieve the social and cultural sustainability in architectural education? That is what I am working on. There has to be some approach where we all talk about and look at the problems in similar way, and we can understand how we are going to take care of all of this. Before all of that, we need to learn what we are being taught right now in the lessons. Whatever is being taught, learn it well, and then start questioning. Ask these questions. You will be answered. Even if you don't get immediate answers, keep brainstorming. All of you are smart enough to come up with your own answer and derive stuffs out of it. You are the future of building India. And this is not a very generic thing that I'm saying. You are architects. You will be building spaces all around India and maybe even abroad. So use your responsibility and be that responsible person who makes a difference. That is the key to the so-called success in your career. And lastly, success is different for every person. You will define your own success. I am a big time Potterhead, and this line always comes to me that Albus Dumbledore had said, help will always be given at Hogwarts to those who ask for it. Your school is your Hogwarts. Where you are studying, whenever you have questions, reach out to your teachers. I'm pretty sure they are not going to turn you out. If somebody is busy, the other person is going to answer you. Don't ask for solutions. Do not ask for solutions. Solution is for you to find out. What you need to do is look out for answers which you cannot find in the books, which you cannot find through your experience, and then derive your solution from it. I'm pretty sure help will always be given to you whenever you ask for it in your school. And that is how you get towards your one direction of success. That's what I feel. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Krishna Koli Dutta, for such a um, informative also and very interesting presentation, like interesting journey. And I always follow that keyword is actually totally relatable, always. So
Yeah,
the way you were connecting it in between and giving it, if our director sir would have been there, he would have really appreciated all your thoughts, whatever you have shared across on this platform. So really incredible. So now the students, please ask some questions to our guest speaker. Please don't hesitate. Ask some questions in the chat box. Whatever queries you have regarding your study or any kind of, please feel free to ask her because it will be a great opportunity. So we start with the question answer session. Guys, don't hesitate. You can chat your question in the chat box. I will read out those questions. Ma'am will also be able to see your questions.
Yeah, I'll be able to see. And if you have not only questions, even if you have any opinions or any ideas, please share. That would be great.
Yes, yes, always.
Well, I said so much about communication and interaction.
Yes, that's very much needed. Very, very, very important. That is the only source. Like One communication is our drawings, our expression of our graphic illustrations and all. And one is through speaking skills.
I suppose they have nothing to say. Nothing to say.
No, I think they will ask. Just wait. Yeah.
Good morning, ma'am. This is
Hi.
Saranya from Geetham School of Architecture. I'm a first year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask about more about your college days. Like, how did you connect with your fellow classmates?
How I connected with my fellow classmates. One thing that I had a lot of fun doing is connecting with people from other states. I'm a big time foodie. I like food from other states a lot. That was one connection point actually. I had friends from Rajasthan and Delhi and Vizag and Chennai, all these places, and we connected over food initially, and then we started talking about their culture and the things that they have seen and what goes on in their places. When in our first year we had basic design, and I actually noticed that apart from what they bring from their state into their basic design, the use of colors were different, the way the lines were made was different, because they actually tried to bring in their culture. Well, in the first year I did not understand so much in deep, but I could understand that there is a difference, and that is what we talked more about. And well, food, movies, designs, our states, backgrounds, that's how I connected. What are you interested in? What is your point of interest?
My point of interest, as in in subjects or
In general?
architecture? In general, it would be art and its history, ma'am. I like Renaissance. I like.
Okay.
I also have specific attraction towards Venus sculptures, like
Venus
those
sculptures,
tiny Venus
they are a
sculptures.
thing
Yeah.
of beauty. Yeah.
Yeah. So those would be my top point of interest currently.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure there'll be other people who are interested or who might get intrigued in things like that. So try to, reach out with your points of interest, be it
Yes.
Renaissance, be it your birth of Venus. Just, I'm pretty sure there'll be other people who must be interested in things like that, because both the things that you mentioned are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am.
There is another question in the chat box from Nimitesh, which is what should we exactly search for after the completion of our graduation? Well, Nimitesh, it depends on what you are actually looking for. What do you want to do after your graduation? If you could, put on your mic and just tell me, what is it that you want to become once you graduate?
No, is it like I am very much interested in landscape designing and all. I am currently in third year, pursuing in third year architecture.
Okay.
So I was a little bit confused about what I will do. I will be doing in next 2 or 3 years.
What you need to do right now is that since you are interested in landscape architecture, start looking for firms who work solely on landscape architecture for your internship, and create your portfolio in a way that these firms will also be interested in you. Your learning starts not like you're looking for something, does not start after you graduate. It starts from your internship, where you're reaching out to the people outside your college. And in internship, the entire journey of internship is all about learning. You learn, and the learning does not finish. You learn till a point where you feel that people are bullying you, but it's only about learning. So you have no idea how much more you're going to learn about landscaping if you can intern in a firm which works solely on that.
Okay, so it means that I need to start it from now onwards.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Why not? You will, if you start now, you will know what they might be needing. As I said, you have to communicate. Are you there on LinkedIn?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so LinkedIn is a good place where you can find out landscape architects and they must be having firms. They give out their advertisements over there. Look what they're asking for. I am not asking you to join an internship right now. Go in your 9th or 10th semester whenever you have it in your institute. But till then, be prepared. Know what they are asking for, and don't target just one. Target at least 10. Then you will land into one.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Cheers. There is something from Ishika. Hello, ma'am. You have talked about picking up one subject so that it gives us a direction to move ahead. So according to you, which subject will be good? I want to know your point of view. See, Ishika, my point of view would be absolutely my choice of subject. As I said, I liked history of architecture and culture. At that point, I never realized that I am so much interested in society and culture and what we are doing. But when I was studying about it, I liked it. I liked what I was reading. But then again, that started from school. I had studied science in 11, 12, so I did not have history then, but till class 10, I loved studying history. And I am also an avid reader. I love reading storybooks, fiction, purely fiction. And the only thing that comes close to nonfiction is historical novels, where they talk about the history. Specifically, if it is about India, then definitely. And even for outside, like I love books of Dan Brown. They are like a treasure house of history. So that is how my interest grew. Can you please tell me which subject you like right now and which year you are in?
Hello, ma'am. This is Ishika speaking. I'm currently in first year. From 23rd, I'll be doing my second semester. I'll be beginning with my
Okay.
second semester.
Hmm.
So currently, we have only few subjects in our bucket. Like after
So
completion
you
of first year.
have the entire course in front of you. Even if you don't like any subjects right now in the first year, there'll be more subjects which your exploration has just begun. In school, what did you like the most?
In school, I like studying Hindi and literature and language.
Hey, even I loved studying Bengali. Like I'm a Bengali, so I used to study Bengali, and I loved it. So you can, since you like studying literature, and I'm pretty sure you must be having a good hold on the language itself. So your communication skills, at least written communication skills, should be good. Try to convert that in English as well, because I'm pretty sure you are good at that because you are speaking quite well. But when you have to talk to people in your later years, and you have to convey your design in your vivas, it has to be in English, right? So,
Yes, ma'am.
and since you like literature, do you like poetry as well?
No, ma'am. I just like reading
Just
stories and
literature,
novels. Yeah,
just
ma'am.
stories and
Poetry.
novels. So I have not read much of Hindi stories and novels. I had just read one which was called Jwala Ke Phool that used to be in our Hindi syllabus back in school. So, but I know that things can be very, very illustrative in your novels. Try to bring that into your design. The descriptions that you read and you really like, try to pull that in. See, when you're talking about picking one subject, as an architect, I have studied a lot of subjects. There is another thing, since I love stories, I also love watching movies. That is another thing that I really like. We do not have any subject that relates to movies, but there were movies whose sets were really interesting to me, specifically Sanjay Leela Bhansali sets. They are a thing they're a thing of beauty. And when you look at them, try to think what you can bring into your design, which can create that kind of grandeur. And that's all I'll say. And you're right in your first semester. So you have n number of subjects. You saw all those subjects that I had listed out. You have n number of subjects that you are going to study. I'm pretty sure you'll find something or the other which you'll really like. And you can follow that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Anybody else who would like to ask? I think I will, if with your due permission, if you allow, I can share your email ID among the students. If they
Yeah,
have
sure.
a query, they can connect with you over the mail.
They can also find me by my name on LinkedIn. They can connect over there. And yeah, I am also there on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. But, messaging and all, not that much. But LinkedIn, email, definitely, yeah.
Okay, sure. So with this question answer session, I think that's it, only the questions. I think right now, currently also, they might be trying to explore and all understand.
Yeah,
So they can
definitely.
come up later. So now we will conclude the end of the webinars for today. And yes, firstly, I would say that it was really great interacting, having you on this platform, and in a very intellectual manner. Like everything was so clearly well said and all. Like it was very good to listen to you, and thank you for being a part of this and taking out your time and sharing your journey, sharing a very beautiful journey, like very so that anybody can connect in a very simplistic manner, minimal yet very connecting and relatable. So that's what we have always looked for. So it's a very great listening. And
Well, all I can hope is nobody was bored.
no,
And
no.
I'll thank again to you, to Director Sir, for and also to Alkananda, definitely for
Yes.
suggesting my name. It was lovely speaking here. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
even we also are humbled to have you here, and thank you for being a part of this. And so now we will conclude the session. So thank you to our guest speaker, architect Krishna Koli Dutta, ma'am, for being a guest speaker today. And yes, with this we session conclude the session. And I would like to thank all the participants also for being a part of this session. And yes, more participants are needed to join. So I'm still ensuring, like I'm making sure that they do join. And yes, I will definitely upload this YouTube link. It's recording on the cloud. So the link will be shared soon along with the screenshots, and we will tag you on the LinkedIn page also with the
Thank you so
announcement
much.
of the successful completion of the webinar. And yes, so bye everyone. Take care. Today signing off, host Assistant Professor Snigdha Roy. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.